Happy almost October, guys. It's nearly the spooky season and I wanted to do something a little bit creepier for you than my usual vintage content. I really wanted to make this book. I wanted to make it functional as well. So not only is this a book, but it is a secret box as well to keep anything you want in. So for this, you're going to need some cardboard, scrap paper or large paper, fancy paper, paints in various colours, air dry clay or similar, PVA glue or similar, a hot glue gun, ping pong balls, tissue or crepe paper, thick cord, optional are some clay or cake tools or similar. First things first, you want to take your spine piece of cardboard, really smother it in glue, spread it all out, and then glue it to the centre of a piece of scrap A4 paper. Remember, recycling is best, so try and use something that would just go in the bin otherwise if you can. Then smother glue on either side of the spine piece and glue down the cover pieces. Careful to leave a small gap to allow for movement between all the cardboard pieces. This gap should only be about 1 centimetre or 2 at most. At this point, you'll want to bend those pieces to get those creases really good and in there. So next we need to cover the cardboard with something, just so that the corrugated edges don't show through really. At this point it doesn't really matter what it is because we're going to paint and papier-mâché over it later, but I just happen to have a ginormous sketch pad, so I just used a page from that, but you can use whatever, even multiple sheets of paper glued together would work. Now cut all 4 corners at an angle. So now what you want to do is apply glue on all of the flaps, I don't know what to call them, fold them up and stick them down. Repeat this on all 4 sides, making sure to pull them nice and tight as you do so, that you have a nice crisp and even edging. Next you'll want some kind of fancy paper. These will be your end papers inside of the book, so glue the first one down nice and evenly, about 1 centimetre away from the edge of the cover. Use something blunt but pointy like a bone folder to crease the paper where the gap is underneath, and then repeat on the other side. You can make these pieces overlap or just have them meet if you don't have enough paper. Use your bone folder, or paintbrush in my case, to crease the paper again. If your second piece overlaps your first, you may have to put the crease back in here too. Now you're going to need 2 short pieces of cardboard and 1 long, so just ignore this extra one here. That's better. Apply the glue along the bottom edge and stick it in place in line with the end papers. If your glue gun gives out, like mine did, get a new one and glue the rest of the sides, attach the joins too. And then finally attach the box to the lid with the hot glue gun. To cover a great big black smudge, I decided to paint the white of the eye, but mixed a little yellow into it to tone down the bright white colour. And the final touch is just some white reflection. So next you want to get your air dry clay out and roll it out into a skinny little sausage and bend it around into my least favourite part of this book design. I mean, come on, it looks like broken glasses, Disney. Then I added the decoration all the way around it with just some tools and attached an extra piece at the end for the clasp, joining the clay with this nifty little thing that I have no clue what to call. And whilst that dries, you'll want to glue that eye down and secure it with more paper mache for the eyelids. Now we're going to paint it up real good with some brown paint. Really make it look like a chocolate cake there. And once that's dried, we need to flesh it up a bit by lightly painting this tan colour over the top, but not in the gaps between the fleshy parts. Next up is to make the snakes. So I glued down a cardboard corner piece and then used this cord to wrap around in the snake shape. So then you want to cover this with paper mache. For one, to make it easier to paint, but two, so we can give it a little paper mache head. Once it's dry, cover the decorations in silver paint. And then once that's dry, use a dry brush and black paint to tarnish up the silver and make it all old looking. For the stitches, I used this mini glue gun backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And then just paint the glue yellow so it looks less like glue. So next you'll want to tea stain those pages to make them look all old, both outside and inside. Now for the spine. The book has 5 fingers along it, well, I'm guessing they're fingers. You want to make these from clay and indent some nails and knuckles into them. For this clasp, I couldn't get a clear image, so I just sort of winged something from clay, painted that silver and attached it to the side of the book with some hot glue once it was dried and tarnished it up a bit too. Same with the fingers, I painted those, thought they looked a bit too clean looking, so I trashed them up with some brown paint and glued them to the side of the book. And that's it. That's the Hocus Pocus spellbook. Is it perfect? No. Does it look exactly like the book from the movie? Also no, but I'm really proud of it. I think it turned out really cool and I hope you like it too. Just a bunch of Hocus Pocus.